To the Takeda Manufacturing Associate Training Program overview. My name is Sarah Ruddy, and I'm the Senior Director of this program at JVS-Boston. JVS is in partnership with Takeda Pharmaceutical and Quincy College to offer you this 8-week training program to get job seekers into manufacturing associate jobs at Takeda Pharmaceutical. JVS stands for Jewish Vocational Service. We are a nonprofit organization who helps get job seekers new jobs, to learn English, and to learn new job skills. We also work very closely with employer partners to ensure that all of our programs are informed by employer needs. Last year, we helped 2,000 job seekers to get new jobs. This particular program is very exciting because it is an 8-week boot camp style training to give you real lab experience so that you'll be prepared to work as a manufacturing associate at Takeda Pharmaceutical. You'll see that it begins September 15th and goes until November 4th. It is a part-time training program, which means that it is only Friday afternoons through evenings and then Saturday day. So you can see the times here on Friday and Saturday. We designed it this way so that if you already have a job, you can continue to work during this training. The training is free, but it is not paid. So do not think of what I'm about to tell you as an income replacement, but we do have a stipend for the training program at $600, which helps to pay for things like travel. There is quite a bit of travel in this program out to Quincy College where you'll be getting your lab training. At the end of the training program, if you complete successfully, you will work as a manufacturing associate at Takeda Pharmaceutical. The first 90 days that you work there, you are a contractor. And then after that, you become a full-time employee, which is when you become benefited. The starting wages are $27 an hour for the daytime shift with a much higher pay for the overnight shift. They are 12-hour shifts. There are only 2 12-hour shifts, a daytime shift from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and an overnight shift from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. You want to make sure that you are able and willing to consider both shifts. About the stipend, we do give it out at different milestones throughout the program. It's not at the beginning of the program that we just hand you $600. So it's $150 after the second week of training, $300 after program completion, and $150 after starting the job. The stipend is meant to help with things like travel. Who is Takeda? They are a very large global biopharmaceutical company with a presence in 80 different countries, and they're among the top pharmaceutical companies in the United States. Their research and development is focused on a variety of areas, some of which are mentioned here: oncology, gastroenterology, etc. As a manufacturing associate, you will be working on actually creating the products and medicines that impact these areas. Where would you be working? There are multiple Takeda locations, but these jobs will be at the Lexington site and the Cambridge site. An important thing to keep in mind with the Lexington site is that it's very difficult to get there without a car. You really will need to have regular, reliable transportation to work at the Lexington site. And the Cambridge site can be reached by car or by public transportation. There is parking at both locations. Who is Quincy College? They are our trusted training partner who has designed this 8-week training program specifically for Takeda. They're a public community college in Quincy, and they will be doing your in-person training Fridays and Saturdays. Since it is in person, it does require quite a bit of travel during the program. The best way to get there is on the Red Line or the commuter rail. Both exit at Quincy Center. It's much more convenient than trying to drive because the traffic is very, very difficult to get through and there is no guaranteed parking. What is biotech? Simply put, it is the use of biological processes and engineering sciences to produce services and products like medicines. The way I like to think about it is using science to make human lives better. What will you be learning? I encourage you to take a screenshot of this slide right here. You get some very broad topics that you'll be covering each week. And then week 8, you get to review everything that you've learned, because taking in all of this information is like drinking from a water hose. It is so much intensive information in the lab in a very short period of time. You will need to be prepared to take in a lot of information and also to learn very quickly. Is this the right job for you? Well, let's consider. Are you curious, resourceful, attentive, organized, and excited by science? This might be the program for you, but you also need to assess, can you get to Cambridge or Lexington on a reliable way? You need to also determine if you have flexibility to do daytime and nighttime shifts. Your preference for shifts will be taken into consideration at the job application phase, but we cannot guarantee you that your shift of preference will be available. You also need to determine if you're able to work rotating schedules. Each week, you'll either work 3 days or evenings or 4 days or evenings. So 3 one week, 4 the next, which means that you also get 3 or 4 days off during the week. So that's one benefit of working the 12-hour shift. Training program requirements: you must have a desire to work in biotechnology manufacturing, have a professional attitude, have at least an intermediate level of English speaking and reading skills, be able to complete a written math and English skill check, complete the entire training and want to work full-time immediately following the completion of the training program, be open to working 12-hour shifts, able to work some holidays and some weekends, have no mobility restrictions. This is a physical job with a lot of standing and repetitive motion, and be authorized to work in the United States. Required documents and other asks that we may have of you through the scope of this program are for proof of a high school diploma or a foreign diploma or an equivalency like a GED, a resume, which JVS can help you to create and make look very professional, the social security card, valid photo ID or US passport, mass license, other forms, proof of child care if this is applicable, and you need to be able to pass a standard drug test, which includes a test for marijuana, a criminal background record, and a sexual offender background record. So what are the next steps? The first step was to watch the program overview video. Bravo, you are here. The second is to do a virtual skill check for reading and math. If you go on our webpage, you'll see a link to a Calendly link where you're able to choose a day and time that's best for you to do your assessment. It usually takes somewhere between 60 and 90 minutes, and you want to make sure that you have full availability during that time and you're on a computer with good Wi-Fi to take that assessment. If you pass the assessment, you'll have an in-person interview with me or with our manager, Tessa. If you pass our interview, then you'll have an interview with Takeda, and ultimately they will determine if they want you to attend the training program. Are you ready to move on to the next step? Great. Find a date and time that works for you to join us virtually for a skills check appointment. We're going to be looking at your math and reading levels. We're also going to be sending over to you a list of resources you can use to refresh your own math skills so that the algebra is not quite so scary. Once you get your Calendly email reminding you of your appointment, scroll down and take a look for the link to those resources to help you refresh your math. As I mentioned before, make sure you're on a computer. Do not try to take the assessment on your phone. It will not work. And please contact the manager, Tessa, here if you need any help with your technology beforehand. Finally, thank you. We're so excited to meet you. It is our greatest pleasure to be able to connect great job seekers like you to incredible employers like Takeda.